Is Alejandro Garnacho good? It's a simple question, and you tell me down below in comments. We are coming up to December of this season, and guess how many goals and assists Garnacho has gained this season? Well, have a good guess. How many? Well, in the Premier League, he's had 3 goals and 1 assist, and that's in 14 games. Even in the Europa League, they've had 5 games with only 1 goal and 0 assists. However, you can count Barnsley, which he got 3 goals and 3 assists in 2 games, which is fantastic. How many against Barnsley? I want to talk about Garnacho because he's a player which, despite being 20, has already gained a lot of reputation to be the next up-and-coming star, not just in the Premier League, but most importantly at Manchester United, and really put himself on the world stage with that incredible, in my own opinion, maybe the best goal in Premier League history. Honest to God, the bicycle kick against Everton last season. The technical level of that goal is absolutely insane. The fact that he's running backwards from a ball coming behind him to then hit the ball from quite far out, almost outside the 18-yard box, to go into top corner. Genuinely, tell me down below the best goal in Premier League history, because I think that, no matter who you support, even if you're a Liverpool or City fan, for me that's always going to be at least in the top 3. No matter who you ask. But a career is more than just an incredible goal, obviously. And this season, despite a goal in the Community Shield, the idea that this may be his season, it's not turned out that way. And one main issue, mainly because of his age as well, is that his repeated incidents on social media is also rubbing some fans the wrong way. For example, multiple times this season alone, he's made weird actions online, liking posts which critiques Manchester United. For example, back in April, he liked 2 different posts by none other than Mark Goldbridge, criticising Erik ten Hag after Garnacho was subbed off at half-time against Bournemouth, and then ten Hag later revealed that Garnacho indeed did apologise for liking said post. In September this year, Garnacho also liked a Fabrizio Romano Instagram post of Cristiano Ronaldo criticising Erik ten Hag, who was still manager of Manchester United. And yet again, as of this month, 1 month under Amorim, Garnacho has liked another post criticising Lisandro Martinez, his own teammate. The incidents in September and in December happened immediately after the games, within 20-30 minutes. And this is a repeated action that online he seems to have somewhat childish just actions, which again, you may not be surprised to hear, he is still a young lad and he's been given the world on a plate here, and his attitude can be critiqued at the same time. So comment down below your thoughts on Garnacho, make sure to like and subscribe, and because Christmas is on the horizon, Mazzol Designs, my own print company, 15% off all items, use code Xmas, and of course, we have so many prints on our site, so you'll never, I think we've got 900 plus now, made by myself. Go check it out for any club, link down below. Let's get into it. Now, Garnacho appeared to kind of come out of nowhere, of course, coming through the academy despite being bought from Atletico Madrid back in 2020, and coming through the system, and then, of course, getting his first few starts in the 2022 season. Garnacho is an entertainer, however, he is still quite young, and of course, that mature part of his game, the final decision making, will never be fully right there right now, and you can kind of understand that and accept that. However, he should be getting to that stage of his career where he's really taking it by his control. What is Garnacho's game specifically? Because of course, as a winger, you're reliable on taking men on to create opportunities. Well, his main trait seems to be his work ethic, his running ability, and just being aggressive and taking men on at all possibilities. He's obviously best used for the counter-attack where he's got space to run into. That lies the biggest problem, it feels like, where when you're, of course, Manchester United, most games you'll be playing as teams that will be aiming to defend deeper, and with that comes a bit more technical ability being needed because you got more men in your way. And that seems to be where Garnacho may be suffering here. When United are defending, he's their first out ball to try to get the ball up the pitch, and he can start a counter-attack. Now, Garnacho may have never really been the plan. He didn't really ever start games consistently last season until at some point he just began 38 games in a row. Playing more and more games may get you more sharper, however it would also be much more draining for you, especially for a player his age that may be massively reliant on his confidence levels. And because how often he's running up the pitch, it may not be tracking back too much, where teams are now starting to attack and start pressurizing onto those areas where he typically is at, aiming to hit the spaces behind Garnacho, and if he doesn't track back, then that leaves an extra man there available. He put a lot of minutes last year for a 19-year-old at Manchester United and ended up with 10 goals and 5 assists across all competitions. And the thing is, I want Garnacho to be the man that we want him to be, because that is the entire ethos of Manchester United: young talents coming through the academy to go and be put into the first team. Garnacho is what United should really be about, and that's why I really wanted to work out. And this year, it's not going that way. There's two main things here of Garnacho. Number one is potentially somewhat of an attitude problem. During the pre-season tour this summer, and this came out back in November when it came out public, that Alejandro Garnacho was dropped during those pre-season games for being late for meetings, not just once, but twice. And this has kind of led to maybe this idea of this security that he has, because he came from being somewhat of a super sub, like just an impact sub to bring us some fresh legs, to now, being played every single game at such a young age. And at that stage, you may fall victim to becoming comfortable, where your position in the team may be secure, and that he would start or play in every game no matter what. And I felt like that was a big problem. And of course, that could be a part of why he's been suffering now. Number two is, of course, it's just his age. That he is not the finished product by any means. So therefore, he will make mistakes. And this year, the main frustration with Garnacho is the fact that he is just not good enough with his decision making. The final pass, the decision to keep on running and dribble past a man, then to go for a much more simpler pass at a time period, or when the pass is not on and he could dribble, he then decides to pass it. And that's normal for a young player. However, at Manchester United, with the scrutiny that you'll get on that, it's a massive problem for such a young player. And because of the way he was raised through the academy and how he's brought in, and he was pretty much the big name in the squad, I feel like that could also be a big part also when he plays for United now, that he is the man to take the game on and to be the main man and to try to do it all by himself almost. And that's the main issue that can be found with Garnacho, where he just isn't smart enough with his decisions and tries to think that he is God, and basically Ronaldo, basically. There's an example here that I found online where against Chelsea in the 83rd minute, there was this opportunity here to pass the ball for the overlapping run by Mazraoui, and there was Xerxes at the back stick for an easy tap in, and instead he then decided to cut inside into the space of around 4 or 5 Chelsea players. And this happens quite a lot. Another example from that same game is also from a screenshot here. He messed up this situation here, where instead of going for the simple run, it could go for the run of Xerxes at the back post, or go for the run of, I believe that's Ahmad there. Instead, he made the wrong decision again. And Garnacho kind of represents the main issue that has been pointed at United, that the fact that they are a team of individual brilliance and quality in moments. They're a moments team where they've got quality, of course, got Rashford, got great players, but they can become selfish to become the main man and to be the main name. And Rashford can also fall victim to this as well, and Garnacho is the same, where instead of using the team and what the team can do to help him to score a goal, it's all about what you can do to create the opportunity. And it's just repeated issues time and time again. It's a moments club, and as long as they stay this way, then they won't be. And that's why I believe Amorim can change that, absolutely. Tell me down below your thoughts on Garnacho and exactly what can be done to change him. For me, really, the main thing that can be done is simply to maybe give him a bit of a break. And that his position that he's been used to always playing is no longer secure. So now he's got the feeling of being put down on his level a bit here. And I think that's important. He's also a very young player and is playing a lot of minutes, so I think playing a bit less will be beneficial for him as well. United under Amorim, I truly believe can be positive. I really do like him. I really do like Amorim. And I think he's the man that can put in a system, an actual system at Manchester United, that can look more like a team. But it is United. And sometimes a club can be bigger than the man themselves. So tell me your thoughts down below. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.